Well, we're back for another herd beginner racing series. I actually wasn't really planning on racing this today, but Bill from Gorillas is on here, and Bill and I haven't gotten a chance to ride together for a while. Bill has helped us a lot with the Herd Summer Racing League. He rode with us. I spent a lot of time following his wheel as he led me out. In fact, one race, he pretty much carried me the entire race and managed to get me the win for that one. But this time we're riding solo, everybody for themselves. Bill's ahead of me there in the black. And we're actually racing in the B category. It's a B zone. It's not Cat B. It's B zone in the herd beginner racing categories. Yesterday we rode in the C zone because ZRS said that was appropriate for me after being off for a while, and we managed to pull off a second place finish there. So I wasn't sure what would happen as I moved up to this zone, especially after racing yesterday, even though it wasn't that intense. But my typical strategy is, hey, let's just have a nice group ride and then we'll sprint for the last 500 meters and see who wins. I'm hoping that they will do this, but being that it's the cat up, or well, it's not a cat, it's a zone up, that things might get a little bit hotter than it did yesterday. And but we really started off at a nice easy pace. I'm quite happy to just dangle off the back and let everybody else do work. There's a little bit of pressure up front once in a while here, but they closed it down pretty quick. And on this flat section, if you don't make an attack right off the start, there's probably nothing going to happen until you get to LAX. As we close in around the water area of this, I'm sure there's a name for these zones. I have a tendency not to learn these names. I need to start doing that if I'm going to talk about them. But as the Zone D and Zone C, there's probably more opportunity to get a little bit of breakaway. As you get into the B's and A's, there's enough power that no one's really going to slip away on these sections right here. So not too much of a concern unless you completely fall asleep and just let someone go. So that's why I'm quite comfortable hanging on to the back. I don't really expect anything to come in from the front. So it's quite a typical quiet ride, riding with a group. I've got a couple things I'm trying to focus on. The power is just a little bit higher than yesterday, not a whole lot, but I'm really focused on keeping my upper body relaxed, trying to keep my shoulders, my face, my hands, and that allows my legs to stay relaxed. I'm really just focusing on circle pedaling. When I tense up, I start to mash, and then you're using all quads. So I want to conserve as much energy as I can by keeping my body as relaxed as I possibly can. We're pushing heart rate 170, which is comfortable to hold for quite some time. But it's not easy riding. Easy riding is 160. So there's just a little bit of effort. Again, I'm on the back because I'm really not worried about anything going on. I'm just trying to draft as much as I can, conserve all of the energy, because there will probably be a move coming out of LAX. And that is a move that I need to try and cover. If it is a too intense of a move, well, probably the attempt's going to be to split this group in half. I did not do any recon on these riders. I don't know who anybody is except Bill. So I just need to watch. And you notice I moved up just a little bit as we're starting to close in on LAX. I do not want to be off the back in case an attack comes off the front at this point. So we're trying to just find our spot and be ready while staying as relaxed as we can be. And here we are heading right up into the climb. And it wasn't attacked as hard as I thought it would, but there was a quick move here by Bill. So there he goes. I thought about going with him and trying to double team it to the end, but I knew I wouldn't be able to take too many pulls because I would be too tired after trying to chase him. So I decided to hang on the back side of the group that was chasing him the most. There was a slight split of about 8 meters on a couple of guys, but really this whole thing started to come back together. Bill realized that he wasn't going to be able to get away, so he just backed off, and pretty soon someone's going to give a little dig in, and we're going to close that gap, and then we're all going to get back together, which makes me very happy. I can just move on back to the back of the group again because nothing's going to happen until we start heading up out of the tunnels there and make the right-hand turn coming back, and that's pretty much what we saw happen. So while we're there, while we're in here and we're not doing a whole lot, I'm still focusing on just completely relaxing my body, trying to keep my brain relaxed, but honestly, I am constantly calculating probabilities. I'm an engineer. I love data. I love information. Trying to figure out what the next move is going to be, trying to calculate when somebody might do a move, when I need to do a response, and that's pretty much going to be on that false flat. And the other dangers I talked about in yesterday's video was at the 2K mark. If anybody goes, I have to go with them, but I'm feeling a little bit tired today, and I know that if they attack, I'm not going to have a sprint. But at the same time, if you're going to have a chance to win any kind of sprint, you have got to be with the front group, because you're never going to win a sprint from group 2. Yeah, I know that's totally obvious, but that's the thing I keep in mind. If I let somebody get away, I give up the race. So I may as well exhaust myself to stay with them and have an opportunity than to just throw in the towel and hang back with the group behind me and not have the opportunity. So here, again, relax, trying to see if anybody's going to put a move on. To be honest, I was very surprised that I didn't see any pickup in the pace, especially in this zone, because this should be some of the more experienced riders. Bill moved to the front of me. I was a bit confused because we're riding solo, but he sure seemed to be helping me just stay in touch with this group without having to put in too much effort. I expected him to make an attack, but talking to Bill later, he said the guys at the front were putting on just enough power to dissuade anybody from doing an attack, and if you started one, they just hung with you, so he didn't see any sense wasting that energy. So we are now looking at 2.2K out. You know, again, the 2K mark is the next opportunity. I moved up just a little bit because I was expecting somebody to do something and expecting to have to go with them, which was nice of me because at least I gave Bill a chance to grab my wheel for a little bit. He did so much for me back there. So at this point, I'm just watching to see who's going to go. And as we close in on 1 kilometer, I realize nobody's going. So I'm thinking, well, these must all be sprinters. So the next opportunity is going to be the sprint point that's coming up, and we'll slow it down at the same spot we did yesterday because the sprint's the best part of any race. Trust me, that's the thing you really want to see. Since we're moving into a sprint, I just moved back to the back of the group so I could watch everybody, get a good lead out. I've got the arrow, so I'm excited about that. As soon as someone stands up, I'm popping arrow and I'm grabbing their wheel and going. But here we are, less than 500 meters to go. At 300, I'm probably just going to go. Now here's, it's 400 right now. It says 3, but it's 350. So I took off, popped that arrow, and just decided if nobody's going, I've got to go. And there's Bill. He knows what I like. He grabbed my wheel, came with me. Now I've just got to power it and not let anybody pass. We talked about it yesterday. Once you start your sprint, do not lay off. You've got to just power it all the way to the finish. You're committed, go. And actually pulled off the win, which is very surprising to me. But I'll take it. There were a whole lot of opportunities for other people to do other things in this race. But like I said, a nice group ride to the finish, and then we'll sprint to see who wins this. So great race, everybody. Bill, I really appreciate being able to ride with you again, and I look forward to seeing everybody on the next race.